Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back. Doing another video today. Of course, more Transformers, which is nothing to complain about in my book. This time, more War for Cybertron Studio Series. Again, these are called Gamer Editions. So, wanted to get a Starscream on this series. I am familiar with the War for Cybertron game and the Fall of Cybertron sequel to this game. So, really cool again to get more figures. I want to get this one to see if maybe is a good figure and then prompt me to inevitably get the Skywarp and Thundercracker retools or repaints when they do those. But there you see the figure hanging out. No plastic windows. Again, you've got the authentic Transformers thing here. I'm not sure if that means anything, but you've got Starscream here, and you've got the D-pad, which again to signify that this is a Studio Series Gamer Edition. You got a close-up here of Starscream himself, and you've got the figure. Of course, you got the robot mode. He's got his mace, his gun, and of course he's got the awesome, I guess, Tetrajet or Cybertron mode. This being, again, part of the Studio Series, you do also get a backdrop here of, Cybertron or the game to sort of display with it. But really cool figure nonetheless. So I'm going to tear into this box and show you guys what's inside. So, Gamer Edition Starscream here from the War for Cybertron. This being a Studio Series figure, you do get a background here like you do with all the other Studio Series. This is, I guess, based on the game. I haven't played this game in a while, but I'm going to say maybe Iacon or one of those Transformer-like places. But again, you do get a background so you can use that for your toy photography or, if you like to display them. I think it's a cool little option for me. This is going to get tossed. So, move that out of the way. You also do get your instructions here, which I would recommend you review. Transformation is not anything too complicated, but, I did have to have a second look at them. Particularly because a couple of these, his accessories and body parts even, come separate in the box. So, accessories wise, you get this nice giant rifle gun, I'm gonna call it here. You guys can see it. Really cool, really nice. It's got some nice detailing. It's all plain gray, but again, what's there is really cool. And there is this short little nub that he can use this to hold in his hands. But also there's an additional port back here, and I'll show you that actually goes attached into his hand, which you can remove. I will put this gun off to the side for now. Next thing here is this cool little mace. This comes in two pieces, so this whole gray handle is a separate piece, and then this nice purple part here is a whole separate one. This is a little softer plastic, so it does have some give to it, but again, it's really, I don't know if you could see it there, it's really well done, I would say. Really do like it. And here the handle, again, some plain gray plastic, but I think it's really well done. It's got some nice heft to it. I think if you were to toss this at someone, yeah, don't do that, because it would hurt. It's soft plastic, but it's got some nice density to it. So again, just something to keep in mind there. Of course, like I said, is this weapon here he can hold in his hand if need be. The hands do have a port section there for him to hold that. And thankfully, as heavy as this is, for the most part, my Starscream doesn't have any issues with holding the mace. So again, that's really cool. The gun specifically here, as I mentioned, you can do this. You could take this hand off, essentially pull it off, and you can attach this via the port in the back here. Just gotta make sure I get that in there. And this is pretty much from what I recall, this is sort of taking it back to the game itself, where their hands could transform into guns, if I remember correctly. But again, that's really cool. Kind of reminds me of the null rays that the original Seekers in the G1 show kind of had, right? But they had them on their arms on the side. So that is something that you can do. So again, that's really cool. So moving that aside, you can just essentially pop this back in. It's kind of just sitting in there with a peg, and boom, that's it. Lastly, in regards to accessories, these two shoulder sections here actually come in separate. So you do have to tab them in. Just something to keep in mind. The instructions kind of do show you how these go attached. into the whole chest upper section here. But you guys can see I put them in as such. Now, as far as the figure itself, it is a really cool looking figure. Initially, when I opened this up, he looked a bit stumpy and not proportionate enough. But now, as I play around with it more, transformed it and everything, it's really growing on me. I do definitely like the homage to Starscream here with the similar colors, right? The red, silver, and blue, or dark blue in this case. So definitely, you know, that hits the mark for me. The face sculpt itself looks really cool. Definitely a lot of Starscream there, and pretty looking like what was in the game, right? So I think that's definitely a plus, and the details are definitely there. Of course, this being a red, blue, and silver figure, that big orange chest kind of sticks out, the whole cockpit there area, if you want to call it. But I think overall it does fit the aesthetic of Starscream here. He does look pretty good, and as I said, the proportions are spot on, even if right away, maybe on camera, you know, it doesn't translate really well. Keeping on going down here, not much detail on the chest, but what's there is really good. The arms have all these little details in the silver or gray there, and of course you got this dark blue in the forearms, the gray on the upper arms here, on the shoulders. Again, pretty good looking, nothing too bad here. You got red again on the legs here. You've got some more blue and silver and red here on the legs and the feet. Going on to the back, he does have a bit of a backpack, but you know what? It fits him really well. He's definitely got the whole Starscream aesthetic going here with the wings off to the side. And you've got the whole, this is pretty much the back portion of the jet mode, or flight mode as you want to call it, in that mode. And yeah, again, he cleans up really well. There are no gaps that I could see back here on the back. And what I do appreciate is that when you have this guy in his robot mode, the Decepticon symbols are obviously facing the right way, but when they printed them here on this side, they're facing the opposite direction, and that's done so that essentially when you transform him, they are facing the correct way. So that's really cool. As far as articulation, this guy does have the moving head. You can move it fully around. You know, you just have to make sure you can get your hand in there. He can look up. He can't really look down too much. The arms here you have to move the wings out of the way a little bit, but they do articulate enough. You can fully turn them around. You can spread them out. There's a forearm here section where you can turn it around. The elbows are actually, it's two hinges, so he's got way more than 90, so he can kind of scratch his own shoulder there. So that is actually really cool. There is a bit of articulation here on the waist. It's actually quite a bit, but the cockpit area here kind of gets in the way of that. You can move it out of the way, and then, you know, the backpack, then at that point you can try to get that out of the way to give him a full 360 if that's something you want to do. But again, just something to keep in mind. This guy does have some waist articulation there. The legs, you can do quite a bit of a nice split there. You can kick back all the way back and then forward, so you guys could see this guy has no issues with articulation. And then right here, 90-degree bend at the knee, and you do get your ankle tilt. So again, that's really cool. And these toes kind of do fold in. That's for the transformation, but I guess you could use it as articulation maybe in flight mode if you want to give the feet there some movement there. There is a bit of hollowness here if you move the legs off to the side, I guess, in the mold. But again, nothing that bothers me too much. I think this figure really does look pretty cool. It tends to grow on you quite a bit, you know, specifically, you know, again, if you're looking for all these different iterations of Starscream, this guy is a pretty good one, I would say. I love these back sections here, which again are very reminiscent of the G1 figure, but overall, you know, in robot mode, this guy I think hits all the right notes, at least for me. And the weapons that you do get are pretty cool, and they integrate really well, I would say, in the robot mode. Now, as far as transformation, so a couple of things to do here. We are going to just move these two sections on the shoulders just straight just rotate them so they're facing straight back for now. This whole backpack here, you're gonna have to pull apart. So you're gonna pull that, it's in a hinge. And then a couple of things to do here. First thing is I would straighten these wings, so sort of flatten them, and then take this section here and just separate it like so. For now, same thing here. Move that out of the way. And then you can take this whole back section here apart from the red section. So just hold that red part and just pull this all out. And then you'll see here there's additional red plastic you have to pull out. That's for the jet mode, so get that out of the way. These are almost like fake, I guess if you want to call them. Take these wings and turn them fully around so they're facing like this. So take that, you're going to swing them around and they're going to join together as such. Take these sections now that are like this and just turn them so they're facing the front. Then you can bring this down essentially so that it sits like this. So then you can just leave that sort of hanging in place for now. Next thing to do is this cockpit area here. You're going to just undo it so that it comes out. The head here, you can turn this around so that it's facing the back, and you'll see in a second why. Take this and just fold it all the way out. And then here underneath you'll see that there is the front, the beak, I guess I want to call it, but it's, you just have to get a fingernail in there and pull it out, and the nose cone there. So again, then next thing to do is, once you have that done, is the cockpit here opens. So you're going to pull this down, you're going to take the head here, now that it's facing that way, and you're going to hinge it up. There's a bit of a hinge here. Just be really careful because you don't want to end up breaking this, but the head does swing around like that. So that once you do that, you could take this and have the head sort of rest in there, and then you can close this right up, no problem. Next thing to do here is essentially these two sections are going to get tabbed in there and here. So you're just going to do that and they're going to sit flat like so. Next little trick here with the arms, you're going to take these, have them face up for now, and then you're just going to hinge them down. You'll see they go like so. Same thing here, like that, and eventually these are going to come together like so. Then you're going to take these arms and essentially put them like that. Okay, so we'll do it here on this side. They're going to hinge so that they look like that. Next thing to do is then you're going to swing these in. There is a section here where these gets tabbed into there, so you're just going to swing these arms around, not by these shoulders but by here by the forearm, and you're just going to take that and join them, and they should tab in. I tend to mess with this at the end. They do tend to come loose, so you can just leave them like that for now. Next thing to do is here on the legs. It's pretty cool. You can essentially pull these toe sections in so that they're out of the way. Take this whole section here. There is a section where you can get a fingernail in and push it out. Same thing here. Take this, open this little door here. Next thing is you're going to see the knees essentially are like so. You're going to bend them so that the tab, there's a tab here that releases, and then you can sort of bend and fold the leg in, and then you're going to fold it into itself. You'll see this tab that essentially needs to fit into the little gap there. So you just got to make sure that you push this down and then it fits right in. Then you take this little door, there's a tab there, and it's gonna get tabbed into the leg there. So again, same thing here. You're gonna unclip the knee by bending it, and then you're gonna fold it in as such, and then you're gonna make sure that little gap, the little tab fits in that gap there, no problem. So we're just gonna make sure that fits in there, and then again fold this little door so that it tabs on the leg here, and you're just going to leave that as such. At this point, the last thing to do is you will see here on this backpack section, there's a tab here on both sides. These are going to get tabbed in here. I don't know if you can see the section. So you're just going to swing this down essentially and tab it in. Same thing here, you're going to swing that down and just tab it in. So once you get this far, you'll see there's just one last thing to do, which I always forget about, and that's these little winglets here on the back. You gotta just turn them down as such. Same thing here on this side. And then you're finally done. So this is the ship mode. So let's get the, I guess, complaints out of the way. The section up here, I guess in the middle part, looks a bit unfinished. Looks like there should be something here, some kind of cover to sort of finish off that look. I know these two slots here are for the back, for the backpack in robot mode, but right now this little part kind of bugs me a bit. Then the next thing would be towards the whole bottom section here. If you look up here, same thing as my other complaint is right here, it kind of looks unfinished, like there's a panel here that's missing as well. So yeah, again, just a bit of that unfinished look. And then the last thing, which kind of does bug me, is the way the transformation goes is you kind of just leave the hands just sort of hanging there. So, you know, again, sideways, and then from the bottom, you kind of just see the hands kind of folded, just sort of resting there. It kind of does bug me. So again, I wish there would have been a way to integrate these hands a little better and have some kind of cover here on the bottom and the top. You know, I don't know if maybe with the weapons or some kind of thing they would have included with it. But that's pretty much the extent of my complaints with this guy. I think for the most part, especially once you look at it as a whole here, he does look pretty awesome. I love the mode, especially love this whole back part section here. The wings, you know, the way they've sort of managed to have this whole backpack integrate with the legs does give it a very cohesive look. So I think it does look really cool. And of course we got the feet here, which are the engines or the turbines, whatever you want to call them. Does look really good. Love that side profile from the top. You know, everything looks pretty good as far as, you know, the overall ship mode. And, you know, you can see the details there from the robot mode. I think this mode, it's pretty cool. So another thing you can do is you can stand him up vertically as such. He actually does look pretty cool like this. But overall, you know, happy with this mode. Again, there's little parts here that kind of annoy me, like the emptiness here. Definitely the bottom, I think, could have been done better. I do appreciate, as I mentioned earlier, they went out of the trouble to have these Decepticon modes in the proper orientation when they're in this mode and when they are in you know, the robot mode, right? They change orientation for display purposes. So that's, again, really cool. But overall, you know, this is the ship mode, and then we'll move on to the robot mode. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the video here. Let's do some comparisons here to the Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Starscream. I'm just gonna call him War for Cybertron Starscream. But there you go, there he is standing there holding all his weapons. And let's do here a comparison first next to Earthrise Starscream, so you guys can see that. Again, whole different vibe. I do prefer obviously this G1 Seeker mold, but this is, again, not bad looking by any means. But you guys could see they're very similar in size, so again, you guys could see them there together. Before we move on to more Starscream goodness, why not throw in another Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron figure. Here he is next to Optimus, and I do have the OG Optimus as well, just in case you guys are interested seeing the size difference there. Of course, the older Optimus here on the left is much smaller than, you know, these two, and I think these two fit in really well together. I think he's too small there, but of course this is an older figure, so we'll move him out of the way here. We'll move Optimus out of the way. Why not? Let's throw in some Armada. Here he is next to Armada Megatron. Again, looking really cool there. That actually works for me. I love the look of that. So we'll move him out of the way. And why not? Let's throw in some Optimus, some more Optimus here. This is the Rise of the Beast Studio Series, Buzzworthy Bumblebee, whatever you want to call it, Optimus there. So you guys can see this guy is much taller, you know, it's just a pose that he's in, but again, you guys could see them. So again, that's looking really cool. We'll move that out of the way. Here he is next to Animated Optimus. That also works for me, looking really cool. Next to Megatron from the concept art Bumblebee movie. And that actually works. I think if the finish wasn't so matte and flat on this guy, he would work really well with him. I think that definitely looks good on my part. And why not? Here's the Bumblebee movie Soundwave. And these have very angular design, especially in the forearms. They're very similar to Starscream. So that kind of works in my book. I think that looks cool. Move that. And why not? Let's throw in the big man here. Here he is next to his masterpiece counterpart, Starscream. Whole different line, whole different price point. But again, just want to show you there so you could see the two different Starscreams, whatever you want to call them. We'll move him out of the way here. Let's do some Siege Starscream. Tetrajet. Very similar in size. Again, I'm more still biased towards this look. This one's not so bad, but again, I think that works really well there, comparison-wise. And then we'll do comparison here to Cybertron Starscream. Love this figure. Love this figure. I think it's an awesome figure. But again, just want to show you that right there, looking really spiffy. But overall, I want to say I am happy with this one. I don't have the older version of this, you know, and again, I think it's a good look or a good resemblance to what was shown to us in the video game. You know, I love the weapons, particularly this big mace and that nice sniper rifle / whatever you want to call it, gun. I think it definitely looks apart. So again, just showing you there this War for Cybertron Starscream. I think it's cool enough. So anyway, there you go. If I missed anything, please let me know, guys. Overall, as I said, I am happy with this figure. Now I just keep adding to my Starscream family here. But anyway, if I missed anything, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Take care.